In this video we'll demonstrate the RemoveKnowledge Power application by 3D Solutions. This is a crucial tool that we use when we're finishing a job if it needs to be exported. Just select on it from the launch bar there. The first thing you'll see is it will pop up a warning to you. This is going to let you know that if you run this tool it will remove all the knowledge from the selected files, and this command cannot be undone. There is no undo on this. Very important to recognize this. So we recommend that you do this just on a send to copy of the original and not on the original. Some customers will actually go in and 7-zip up or zip up the original file when they run this, just to ensure that they don't have any issues like that in case somebody messes up a link or things like that. So we just hit OK here. What that's going to do is bring up the form, and it will show, it automatically loads in everything that's in this particular assembly. This is a very small assembly, but the concept is the same for any size job. You'll notice we have the remove knowledge from files right here. You can isolate parts after the knowledge is stripped, which will break any remove links if there's Boolean operations and things like that. We rarely do this, but there's occasions where you need to. And then you have this find secured files. We don't want to do anything with that yet, but I'll show you how that works in just a moment here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and select the remove knowledge from file, and what this is going to do is it's going to remove any reactions and rules that contain the intellectual property of how the blocks function, and it's going to unlock the security measures in the blocks so that other CATIA users who do not use the catalog and templates can access these blocks and modify them and make additions and changes to them without violating the securities, in which case if you don't use the tool it will pop up and tell them they're on an unauthorized box and it won't allow them to change it. So I'm going to do the remove knowledge. It's going to go through. You can see the blocks all turned red. It pops up and it tells you, there'll be a little window that pops up and says the items have been stripped, and then there's a save all option. So we'll save this and we'll take a look at what these components look like underneath here. You still have all your parameters. The only difference is now if I go in and we look at this punch, where before if we change the punch type, the block would change. The block just no longer changes. So the parameters are still there, it's just not a functional block any longer. Same thing with the properties. It will still stock list for them. They can still go in and make manual modifications to these blocks, but it simply removes the proprietary knowledge from the blocks so that they can be exported without violating the end user license agreement with 3D Solutions. I had mentioned there was another button on there. What I wanted to show you is if you got into a job and you had to go back and add a block, and say for example you were just bringing in one particular steel, you didn't need any additional items in there. We'll just bring in another nitrogen cylinder, for example. Close that. If we go ahead and we relaunch our toolbar for our remove knowledge, we'll get our same warning again. You'll notice it brings up all the blocks again, but we know that this has already been stripped once, and there's really only one block in here that's secured. So if we do find the secured files, it's going to tell you it's only going to show the ones that need the knowledge to be stripped still. So it goes through and it just finds that one new block that we have. That way you're not restripping everything in all the other blocks. It does no harm necessarily, but there's no sense in having the computer run through all the blocks in the job when there's only one to be stripped in there. So once we do that, we can go in and strip that one component. You'll get the message up that it's been stripped, and then you can do a save all on that, so we could save that out to a directory location. And then that's all there is to it. That will make the job clear and clean and ready to be exported to a customer. That's the remove knowledge tool.